Over the years, I have grown more Anthurium than I can count. Some I loved, some I grew out of, and some just didn't fit my space. So today I'm going to be ranking them from my least favorite to the one I think is absolute elite Anthurium status. But before we get into that, I want to say if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanty content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanty journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. If you are not new here, welcome back. I really appreciate you returning. Now let's get straight into this with Anthurium number 11. In last place, we have my Anthurium crystallinum portale, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm just not vibing with this Anthurium. I don't think I've been growing it in necessarily the right conditions. Right now, it lives just here on my plant shelves, and I just don't think it's quite right for me. It's grown extremely leggy. I think I got this one sometime in 2025 from a friend, and they know that I struggle a little bit with Anthurium hybrids. I do have a few more on this list that are like absolute must-haves, but this one, I feel like it just looks like that average Anthurium hybrid that I just don't feel like I need to have in my collection. And the only reason I haven't gotten rid of this one yet is because I feel like it's too fancy to get rid of for free. But maybe I just need to bite the bullet and do that because it's obviously not living in my collection. In theory, it's cool, it's vibesy. I just think my plant is growing a little bit awkward and I think it could probably live better in someone else's home. Quickly getting into the top 10, the rest of these are ones that I really love and am enjoying. These next two actually live in the bottom bit of my Mills bow here. This first one is the Ace of Spades X Dressleri, and I think this is a really interesting combination, and that's why I still have this one. I did in my purge recently get rid of a bunch of my small little baby Anthurium hybrids, and this was one that didn't get rehomed in that time because I think it is quite cool. The leaves are this like sort of dark velvet. You can kind of see the shimmer in there. This one does look like it has some sort of pest damage on it. You can see those sort of silvery lines. Looks like thrips damage to me. To be honest, I've got no idea why, because there's not a single thrip on it. It's only had predatory mites on it, and it's otherwise a perfectly happy little camper. I think both of the parent plants are interesting on their own, and so I'm excited to see what this one looks like crossed when it sort of matures up. But I got this one at the October 2025 plant swap, so I've not had it for very long, but it has gone through a few leaves since I've had it. The leaf at the back looks like it's probably getting ready to depart on us. But I think this one's quite a fun one, and I'm excited to see how this one matures because I think it'll be really cool. Another crazy hybrid for the 9th spot. This is an Anthurium Rosarain, and this is just the most complicated hybrid. I will put the like hybridization up on the screen. I got this one in May, actually, from a follower at Malvern. This is the tiniest little seedling, and it has grown out, I'd say, quite a bit since last May. It's obviously not insanely big at this point, but she getting there, and I am enjoying watching the process, and eventually we'll be able to tell which pollen parent we've got the seedling of. I do love myself some velvety Anthuriums. You'll see a theme. Almost all of my Anthuriums are velvety. I just think the texture is super nice. I especially like the really dark ones as well with the silver veination, and this one so far not disappointing. And again, it's one that I'm looking forward to seeing mature because we just don't know what it is, so the bit of mystery in it is quite fun. In 8th place, we've got this lovely strappy thing. This is the Anthurium Wenlingeri, and my main incentive for keeping this one is that I really want to see it bloom. When they put out an inflorescence, it is in a corkscrew shape, and I want to see that for myself so badly. I mean, it also helps that it's a strappy Anthurium. I do like these sort of long, sort of strappy leaves. I think they're really cool. This one is more of a leathery one than a velvet one, and it doesn't have any sort of like prominent veination like the more velvety ones do, but I think it is a fun, cool one. I have had this since I think November 2024, and I got it as quite a small plant then. It has since started to actually mature for me a little bit. It's not huge yet. It's not in the brightest of spots. It just lives up there on my plant shelves, and it doesn't get loads and loads of light. It gets some from the grow light behind me, but not like an incredible amount, and that's okay. I don't feel like I need it to be growing like crazy because I don't really have the space for too many huge strappy anthuriums, which we can get to down the line. I've got a big one back there. I don't have room for it to get that much bigger here, so if it grows a little bit slowly, that's okay. In 7th, we've got some seedlings of red crystallinum cross itself, I believe. These are actually ones from a friend's plant. I went over to their place and I rubbed their like inflorescences together, and they came out with so many berries that grew into seedlings, and so I took a bunch off of them, and you can kind of see the red a little bit in there. I don't know if this lighting is doing it justice, but there is that tiniest bit of red in the veination, which I am excited about. I like a red crystallinum, like a mature one, is a plant on my wish list, and I would love to have that as an addition to the collection. So I'm hoping at least one of these grows out with those beautiful dark genes. I think I've got at least like 6 different plants in this pot, so I feel like at least one in there is going to grow well for me, so I'm excited to see how these grow up. Another adorable little one I have is the Anthurium Ace of Spades. I can't for the life of me figure out when I got this one, but I think it was similar time to the Ace of Spades Drusillary and the red crystallinums I got. I think it was around then. I am not sure, but again, a friend gave this one to me and I am so excited for it. I think the Ace of Spades is a really cool plant, and I'm already loving the way these leaves look. I know they can get super dark as well. This one's in sort of medium light. It sits just at the bottom of the cabinet there. So I'm hoping I can get it to grow those nice big dark leaves one day, but I've not had it for very long. All of these smaller anthuriums I've had for less than a year, and I've been growing them out from small, which I think is a process that I quite enjoy. I think I prefer that to getting them big sometimes, especially since I'm trying to pare down my collection quite a lot recently. Having smaller plants that I can eventually grow big is kind of a nice journey to follow. Getting a little bit bigger here, we have an anthurium hybrid that I actually really love. This is the Papillonem, I call it a Pappy. Pappy X Bessier Af, which yes, is a mouthful. Oh my goodness, I think this one is so cool. This new leaf is just coming in right now, and it's coming in a little bit bronzy. I do love that about anthuriums, that they kind of change color, and I love how much they size up as they come in. Like when the new leaf comes in, it comes in so small, and then by the time it's fully grown and hardened off, it is so much bigger, and that is such a cool process that you don't see in a lot of other houseplants, and I especially love watching it with the sort of velvety leaves. I just find it to be really fun and rewarding. So this is in spot number 5. In 4th place, we have the Anthurium Regal, which I actually have in 2 parts, as you can see here. On my bedside table lives the bottom piece, which I chopped back and had to grow a new growth point. And then here, which normally lives in my Mills bow, I have the top piece, which I chopped off and I propagated in some perlite, and it's rooted very well in there and has since given me, I mean, not the most perfect leaf in the world, but still a beautiful leaf, and it's actually popping out another at the minute. I'm so excited. I really want to just help this one out of the cataphyll. Is that a bad idea? Probably, but am I gonna do it? Yes. I was really careful, but like, look at that. This is what I'm talking about, them coming in so small and then they're gonna get so much bigger. I got this one at the Rare Plant Festival up in Leeds in 2022, so I've had it for a hot minute now. I am eventually planning on putting these 2 back together again. This one only just put out this leaf very recently. It's still not fully hardened off, and I love the Regal, but I also had quite a lot of issues with it. That's why it's not sort of top of the list, because I think it is so cool. These leaves have previously grown amazing for me. My Regal was absolutely huge. I will have to find some B-roll to put in and just show you like the size this thing was. And these leaves were amazing. But as you can see with this guy here, I have had quite a lot of problems with my Regal leaves tearing and ripping and growing a little bit deformed, going brown in places. And personally, that didn't bother me too much. Eventually, I did decide to chop it, as you can see, and start over. It was also getting just too big for my space. I just didn't have room for it. I did take about 6 inches of a chunk out of between these two pieces that I have also propagating in perlite, but it's never actually done anything, so don't know if it'll actually ever work. But either way, I have a lovely top and a bottom. This is one of 2 anthuriums I actually have in semi-hydro. All of the anthuriums up until now have been in soil. I do like them in both. I've had success with them in both, but I decided to put the Regal in semi-hydro because whenever it was putting out a new leaf, it was thirsty. It would go through water so fast. I basically couldn't keep up with it, and I barely could keep up with it in semi-hydro. I think that is why the leaves turn out a little bit like this. If it's not getting enough moisture, part of the leaves will dry as they're emerging, because when they're emerging, they are so fragile that any tiny little thing can cause it to break. And so parts of it would grow faster than others, causing these rips in the leaves, which is a little bit unfortunate. And then also the browning, I've heard can be resolved with CalMag, which I am now feeding my anthuriums with. So hopefully once these grow out a little bit more, I won't be getting those leaves with the brown spots if I can keep up with watering as well. I don't think I'm going to join them together until this leaf has fully emerged and is hardened off, because they are so fragile. I don't want to risk losing that in the time, but eventually I will pop them together. In 3rd place is my Anthurium Warwickwianum, and she's back in the good books at the minute because, excuse me, what is this insanity of a leaf? It is literally pristine. It is perfect, it is huge, it is so happy. But before that, it basically didn't do anything for like a year. It just had these 2 scraggly, ugly, ripped, torn brown leaves on it and just didn't grow anything for so long that I was contemplating getting rid of the plant entirely, which is kind of crazy. And then I noticed it was putting out new growth, and I was like, well, I can't get rid of it now because I need to see at least how that leaf turns out. Turns out it was perfect, and she's back in my good graces, and I can't get rid of her. So she really saved her life by putting out this beautiful leaf. I am obsessed with Warwickwianum leaves, but as you can tell by my story, they are just a little bit of a finicky plant, at least of the ones I've tried. It does like higher humidity if it possibly can. That being said, once they grow big, they can't fit in a high humidity spot. So mine is living on these shelves just here underneath a couple grow lights, which I do think it appreciates. It's another one that I have in semi-hydro for thirst purposes, and it's just been fine in here. I got this one in 2022 as well, same time I got the Regal, and they've both done quite well for me. They've been fine. They've had problems, but I've had them for long enough, and I like how they grow in enough for them to really hold a place in my heart. Hence why they are so high up on this list, even though they have had their fair share of issues. In 2nd place, we have another queen anthurium. This is the Queen of Hearts, and it currently lives in that sort of gap you can see there in my Mills bow on the top shelf. I am kind of obsessed with this one, even though I've not had it for very long. It's got the most beautiful black heart-shaped leaves. It is, I'd say, one of the ultimate goth plants. If you've been here for a minute, you'll know how much I love dark black plants. I got this one specifically to share in my dark plants video, and it has been holding my heart since. It's got more of a leathery leaf, and like no contrast veination, which I think is super interesting because I used to think I didn't like non-velvety anthuriums, but this one has definitely changed my mind. Unfortunately, the newest leaf that it has come out with has gotten a little bit leggy and is a little bit smaller. I think it is just to do with the light conditions in my cabinet. They're not perfect. It's something that I need to change. Regardless, I love this one so much. I think it is so fun and different to all of the other anthuriums I have in my collection, and that's why it has ranked so highly in this list. And finally, in the top spot, it is no surprise to anyone here, it is my Anthurium pallidiflorum. This plant, oh my goodness, it is easily the easiest Anthurium I have ever had. I have never grown this one in cabinet conditions. I've only ever grown it in just like normal room conditions, and it's been absolutely fine. I've occasionally had a bit of brown tips, but I think that is just due to my previous underwatering of it. All of the newest leaves have pristine tips, and I got this one I think in 2023 for my birthday. So it's been a minute. I've had it for a little while, but it was so tiny back then. And now the longest leaf, which I think is this one, is over a meter. It's over a meter long, which is insane. And I am just obsessed with this plant. It's got this like velvety strappiness. So like whereas the Wendlingery is more leathery, the straps on this one have the sheen, and you get that bit of contrast veination in the leaves, which I love. It's kind of the perfect combination of strappy and velvet for me, and I am just obsessed. Also, I have just noticed there will be a new leaf coming in just there, which is so exciting. Every single leaf this one has given me has been longer than the previous, and it's getting to the point where I don't know where else I can put it. It lives up there on the high shelf above my bed, and I don't have that much more room for anything longer, so I'm hoping it doesn't get too insanely long. It is covered by this grow light, which normally stands just here for 12 hours a day, which I think it quite likes. So it is very happy. I have, knock on wood, never had any issues with pests with this one or like soil issues. This one is in soil and it is incredibly happy, and I just love it. It has been so easy. It has been on my favorites list so frequently because every single time a leaf comes out of this one, I am just blown away by the quality and the like happiness of this plant. This is the anthurium that I would recommend literally everybody get. It has tolerated my underwatering before. It has tolerated pretty much everything for me, and I am just generally obsessed with the vibes that it provides. It is, oh freaking, oh my gosh, I didn't even notice. I've got another new leaf on it at the back. So freaking exciting. They come in like really soft, and so you have to be super gentle with them, but just look how it looks back there. That is just my favorite anthurium. If you could only get one anthurium, get the pallidiflorum, because it is just so special and such a pleasure to grow. So there we go. Those are my 11 pallidiflorums ranked. Like I said, I've had so many others previously, but none of them have held my heart as much as the ones I have now. And I'm really excited to see how all my small ones grow. I'm really excited to see how all my big ones grow. And I am just really enjoying watching my anthuriums because they are really special, fun plants, and even though they can give a bit of a fuss sometimes, I do still really like them, and I think they are definitely important in my collection. I would also really love to hear what your favorite anthuriums are, so pop them down below in the comments and maybe I can take some inspiration of ones I can add to my collection. Before I sign off, I want to say a huge thank you to the newest member of my Good Growing fam over on Patreon, Joyce. Thank you so much for joining. I really hope you love it over there. If anyone else is interested in joining my Patreon, the lowest tier is £3 a month, and for that you get the bulk of everything, including bonus content, live chats, access to the Discord server, loads of fun stuff. The link is down below in the description if you're interested, but totally cool if that is not your thing. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future. Are there any other plants you would like to see me rank? I've so far done Hoyas, begonias, and alocasias. Let me know if there's any other genuses that you would like me to rank in the future, and subscribe for more. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to keep growing. Bye!